The festive period in the Premier League is over, and the table is as tight as it's been in years. 10 points separate first and 12th. Liverpool sit top, but both Manchester teams can overtake Liverpool with their games in hand. Chelsea's torrid run of form continues as pressure mounts on Super Frank. Will he be given time to steady the ship? Spurs seem to have steadied their ship and are back to winning ways. Jose has Tottenham 4 points off the top with a game in hand, and Arsenal, seemingly dead a week ago, took full points from their last 3 fixtures and are back in the thick of the race for European places. With most clubs having played 17 games, everything is still up for grabs for the rest of the season. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Whenever you're hearing this from, thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from 4 friends who support different clubs. Red Card Radio hopes to tell and opine on the major stories of the Premier League with a more specific focus on the clubs we support. My name is James, and I support the greatest club in North London, Arsenal. I'm joined weekly by my 3 good friends. Tamzeed is a lifetime Liverpool supporter and couldn't be happier that his club finally won the Premier League. Sean will take offense to my claims about Arsenal due to his allegiance to Tottenham. And Brad will argue and tell you why history doesn't matter and that Chelsea Football Club are the biggest club in England. All that said, this is our look at the state of the Premier League after match day 17. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
It's a rough time. Definitely a rough time as a Chelsea fan here. But, there's positives, and we'll wreck it in the FA Cup and right the ship.
Okay.
But definitely tough times.
That's very optimistic.
Yeah, I have to be, right?
I guess so.
Johnny, what are you thinking?
It's good. It's good to go. Spurs have gotten back on their path. We had a little rough patch. There was a couple of rough weeks we had there. I think our form was. You look at it, we've got draw, loss, draw, and then finally win. So, and it looks like all except for Liverpool, the top 6 won. So 5 out of the top 6 won. So we're all keeping pace, but we're catching Liverpool, so that's good.
Yeah.
They're dropping points. And then arch nemesis is climbing. What are you up to, 11th?
Yeah, we're not languishing near the relegation zone anymore. And it seems like we've got a bit of a monkey off of our back, scoring some goals finally. All
jokes aside, I'm in striking distance. The way I look at it is 4 points, I'm striking distance from the top. I'm 29 to 33.
Yeah.
Arsenal are at 23 points.
Yeah.
They're 10 points off the lead. 6 points out of Europe.
Yeah, so there are a lot of games that are in hand for a lot of teams above Arsenal. I think that number will certainly fluctuate because Spurs, you guys have a game in hand. United have a game in hand. City have 2 games in hand. So some of these teams will pick up more points. But I'm certainly happy with where we are now as compared to where we were a week ago. We'll grab Tamzeed's thoughts on Liverpool when we get back, but since you guys were talking about it, let's quickly shift over to looking at the league table. Just to quickly go over that really quickly, Liverpool do sit top on 33 points. Again, United is in second, also on 33 points, joint top, as all the pundits have been talking about this last week. Leicester City and Spurs are rounding out the top 4. City is at 5th on 29 points, though they have 2 games in hand. Southampton, Everton, Villa, Chelsea. Chelsea's at 26 points. Kind of skip down a little bit to 11th. Arsenal is at 23 points, only 3 points away from Chelsea. And then if we look at the relegation situation, completely unchanged from our last conversation. Fulham has 11 points, West Brom has 8 points, and Sheffield have 2 points. So things are looking a little dire for at least 2 of those clubs. I know you guys think that West Brom and Big Sam are going to pull it out. But before we lost you, Tamzeed, how are you feeling as a Liverpool supporter these days?
Depressed.
Yeah, well, that's
One
good.
word.
I'm glad.
Sums it up in one word.
I'm glad you brought it there because it does seem like Liverpool have been slipping a little bit. You guys can't score, so what's going on in the red side of Liverpool? What's going on there?
So we basically outperformed our XG all of last season, so we're just gonna catch up to it now. You can't run away from XG. You just can't. And more importantly, we just have to find another way to play. Like, I feel the way this league is, the level that this league operates at, you can, at best, play the same way for maybe, 10-odd games. And then you have to, 10, 15 games. Maybe even, 20, 25. You could probably, if your squad is good enough, you can sort of individual brilliance your way to, a full season. But eventually, you'll get caught. And then you have to just find another way to play. And I feel like now we've been figured out again. So we have to play a different way again.
I have to pause everyone. Is somebody opening something? It sounds like someone's opening a bag of chips.
Oh, I think my dog is eating or chewing on a bottle.
Okay,
give me a second. Let me find a way to.
It's COVID time. We're all working from home. We're all remote. We're all dealing with it on our own ways.
I thought Tamzeed was opening a bag of chips or something. I'm gonna get some food action on here.
No, she found a bottle and then proceeded to destroy it.
I actually thought he was so depressed and nervous and aggressive when I thought he was just below the camera, just wrenching the bottle as he's talking about it.
I mean, I guess it's possible.
So we've already changed our style several times over the years.
Yeah.
But so we just have to find another one. We just have to find another way to play. It's just how this league is, and so we just have to. And I just know that other teams have figured this out because Southampton abandoned their traditional style of playing exclusively to play against us, and it worked. They won, right?
Yeah.
Southampton play a very high line. They press up from the front. They do all of that. They packed 10 behind the box and just sat in front of their goal.
Yeah.
Against us, so it clearly works. It
didn't work against Tottenham.
It's just really upsetting. It's just really upsetting. They play a Bundesliga high line for Son Min-hung to take over, but they can't fucking do that for Mane and Salah.
But if we think about it, so you guys have we're kind of in a weird week, and we'll kind of get to this towards the end when we look towards the future because we're coming into an FA Cup weekend. So the Premier League doesn't play again until next midweek. We've got the Carabao Cup going on right now, so we got the League Cup going on. I did not watch the Manchester derby today, so I have no idea who won that game. You guys can fill me in, but so we're going to a weird weekend. But then when we come back, not this weekend coming up, but I think the weekend after, United and Liverpool play, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we play on a midweek.
I think it's the 17th. I'm pretty sure it's the 17th.
Is it 17th?
I think so.
Okay. If it's 17th,
that would be a Sunday.
Is the 17th a Sunday?
Yeah, because we play Sheffield on the 17th, which is a Sunday.
I thought it was the 17th, but I guess it's possible that it's the 20th. I don't know. But I digress because this is a big game coming up for both these clubs. United are equal on points with Liverpool. They have a game in hand, so and their game in hand is against Burnley, right? If I'm not mistaken. So, do we just... I want to give them 3 points for that game. I think for all intents and purposes, United are top of the table. Or can and probably will go top of the table. Does that concern you as a Liverpool supporter? Say they win their game in hand and then they beat you. That's 6 points.
The bigger concern is that they win at Anfield, which we haven't lost in 70 odd games. So That would be a bigger. That would be when we reach crisis point. Is when if we lose at Anfield, we haven't lost at Anfield in like 4 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So like that would be the actual, and it's like annoying because United played the exact brand of like ball that we're like struggling against right now. They're just gonna pack 10 behind the ball and just sit in front and just fling it to Rashford and hope for the best.
Yeah, I guess Cavani will probably be back for that game because his first game suspension was today. His second will be FA Cup. His third will be midweek Premier League, and so he'll be fresh and raring to go.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Liverpool.
was it? Was his? I thought his suspension's already over because I think he missed the weekend, right?
Oh, well, if he missed the weekend, then he'll be back.
I think he missed the weekend.
Then he'll be back for the Premier League.
Yeah,
starting
this
next
will be.
midweek.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Well, either way, he was definitely always going to be back for Liverpool.
He's actually.
Go for it, Sean.
We'll probably touch on this, but he's actually been a breath of fresh air for them. I think. I think his creativity up top.
He's just a guaranteed goal scorer. Like
I mean, he connects well with Pogba.
Yeah,
they look dangerous together.
He can turn hopeful like long balls into goals.
Yes,
and there isn't anybody else in that squad that can turn.
Absolutely not.
Like
because you need to hit Rashford on the run. You need to hit Martial on the run.
Yeah, right.
None of them are Cavani.
None of them are Cavani. Cavani can literally just pull a goal out. Like you just long it to him. He'll like hold it up and like bang it into the net.
It reminds me of Chicharito. I can't believe this is the second Chicharito reference. But he just like Chicharito used to piss me off. Like what was that? 5, 6, 7 years ago? Just like, why are you there? And how did you nail that goal? Why?
I mean,
and he just did it all the time.
That's your bone to pick. Why is Cavani the next Chicharito?
Oh well, no, I don't have a bone to pick with Chicharito. I like that dude.
So you're less concerned about that specific game than the history aspect of losing to United. I guess that's fair because I think we're all of the opinion that United will falter when European football comes back.
Yeah, absolutely.
When European football comes back is when they'll start to like fold over because
they don't have depth for like the first time ever.
It's just a mental strain of going away somewhere in Siberia to go play. A Thursday night away game, and then come back and have to play like Everton at home or something, right? Like they just don't like it's more a mental strain than a physical one.
Yeah.
And so like it is just not. That's why once we roll around to March, they'll start folding again.
They don't disparage Thursday night football.
Hey, well, yes,
where the best teams play.
Same.
Half the teams here are playing Thursday nights, Jamie. We can't make as much fun as we want to. They'll both crash out soon.
I don't think so. I have a renewed sense of confidence, but we'll get to that. But oh man, I lost my thought. It's okay. Let's move on. The next I think major story is the team that spent, what was it, like £200 million in the summer, bought a new goalkeeper that was going to make the world right, and that, just can't seem to get everything together. Brad, tell me what's going on with the Blues.
Okay, so on the first point, I'm going to agree with Tamzeed when he tweeted this, because we know he likes to tweet everything from the group chat. Any goalie that was not named Kepa is a world goalie when compared to Kepa. So I think Mendy will be fine. One of those goals I would say was his fault.
Did I ever tweet that, or did I just say that Kepa had a first good 6 months too?
You did.
I think that's what his tweet was.
Yeah, that was your tweet. But you also said that the other thing was that any goalie looks amazing next to Kepa. So Mendy still looks great next to Kepa.
It's true. Like 57-year-old Peter Cech looks good next to Kepa.
I think he's 74.
There's no lies there. There's no lies there. But let's be real though. His helmet was the reason why I started supporting Chelsea in the first place.
Is it
Thought
really?
It was baller.
His helmet?
His helmet.
What?
Yeah,
That's
so,
the reason.
And I'm a troll, and so like my whole family loves Barcelona, and we went to the Barcelona-Chelsea game in New York City, and I was like, that dude's got a helmet on, and he's playing goalie. I'm rocking with them. Let's go Chelsea, and that's where I started liking Chelsea from.
I'm pretty sure you started liking Chelsea to stick one to Tiffany.
And me too.
To stick one to Tiffany.
100%.
And you as well. When we were roommates.
Yeah,
Come on now.
because you can't. I mean, like you can't pick Spurs because they'll never stick it to Arsenal. But like, but Chelsea, they can win a couple of leagues.
Whoa.
Like,
we were top of the table too back in the day.
Right.
Not very long ago.
Right. And steal their players, like it's great. Like,
oh, it was amazing. Ashley Cole, what? But okay, anyways, back to the topic. Yeah, we're in a super rough patch, but that's okay. It's going to happen, right? Frank did lead us on a 16-game unbeaten streak. If it was anybody but Frank, I don't know if they'd have the leash that he has. I think he gets out this year. I don't think we're gonna fire him mid-season. Like I don't think that. I think he gets through the year. I think the club has to change their ideas here, right? Because how long was Klopp given? He's been there 5.5 years, and it took him 2-3 years to get the team playing the way he wants them to play, to get them winning things. So like we need to stick with a manager, and why not a club legend? Do I think it's early in his career to be at Chelsea? Yes, I thought that from the beginning, but I'm also not mad at it.
When was the 16-game unbeaten streak?
Had
At
it
the
been
beginning of the
last year.
season. At the beginning of the season.
No, it had to,
You have 17 games played, and you have 3 losses. You have in your last 5, you have 3 losses.
he meant
So-
like all competitions during
All
that one.
competitions.
Oh, okay.
phase and,
All right,
like,
all right.
October.
Sorry, I was trying to get to that. I was saying all competitions.
so
all right.
since you guys
Go on, Brad.
since you lost in the FA Cup to Arsenal in early August, you're saying after that point.
Correct.
No, they got hammered by Liverpool, so it clearly wasn't there. It was like in that September October run, yeah.
It was right when Mendy started.
Oh, so it was into
Yeah,
last
like
year
right
into
around-
the
yeah.
beginning of this.
No, it was
Okay,
when Mendy,
got
No, it was
when
like
Mendy
in the
came in.
in the beginning of the year, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
it was right after Liverpool's game.
Like I said, like September, October, yeah.
Yeah, so we had a 16-game unbeaten run this year. So like, the pieces are there. It's just we got to figure out how to put them together. And I think we're suffering from too many choices. We have too many players, and I think Frank is getting muddled in the decisions. But
I think
that's a good problem to have.
I think every club would be better off if they didn't compare their failing managers to Jurgen Klopp. Like, I just think everybody's just better off.
You're not wrong, but we can say Pep.
Well, no, hold on.
we can
What
say-
about Pep? Pep came for instant success. Like,
Yeah, I think that these are not good
No,
comparisons.
he didn't.
So
He didn't win the first year.
but he
In terms of a project,
the point I'm getting to, Brad, is that Jurgen Klopp has 2 Bundesliga titles with Dortmund. He has a DFB Pokal Winners' Cup. It's Dortmund. In his worst season, he won the DFB Pokal. He also has a Champions League final appearance with the Dortmund, right? And so there's that pedigree that can buy you time,
Yeah.
right? And Frank Lampard just sort of strolled in because he's good friends with Roman Abramovich. But I don't think that's
he's
the reason
only
why
riding his
he's there.
captaincy.
Yeah, right. But I don't think that's why. I think Lampard's going to end up sticking through the season, and then they're going to can him because they don't like. Obviously, last season was a write-off because of the transfer ban or whatever, and then
They like
this
to claim.
season is also a write-off because they signed like 95. Yeah, they're like 95 different players. Like everybody could have known that this season was going to struggle because you have to integrate so many players into the squad, and so they're going to end up keeping him and then sack him in the summer for Allegri. Like
Or
that,
he gets his 3rd year.
I mean,
I don't. I hope he gets his third year.
It all depends on where you guys finish. I think if you finish in the top four, maybe have a good run in the Champions League, make it to a quarterfinal, maybe make a good run in the FA Cup, maybe to a semifinal or a final. Yes, I think you could. I think Frank justifies it. But what indication have you ever had, or any Chelsea fan had, in the Roman Abramovich era that gives you any cause to believe that he's not going to just discard him when things aren't going right?
Because of the way that Roman treats legends, right? Like, he let Czech walk away for what? 11 mil?
Bro, Di Matteo won a Champions League and got fired by December.
Yo, and I think Sean
Legends?
Sean might have a Chelsea legend who's the current head coach of his team.
I mean, that's facts.
So, like,
the team gave up.
What he does to legends. Di Matteo, Jose Mourinho, twice fired. Years later. What are you talking about? What he does to legends.
Club legends.
He cans them. That's what he does to legends.
No.
All right. I don't want us to continue to dunk.
But
I don't want us to continue to dunk on Brad.
Yeah, all right.
You're making it.
We don't want this to be a Chelsea hating pod.
Because we all jointly hate United the most.
Yeah.
But well, facts. It's really easy to get on the I mean, it's facts.
I mean, so what I want to transition to is the fact that your misery was a springboard for my joy. That your misery started in the last couple of weeks losing to Arsenal, and now Arsenal are 3 on the trot with 9 points and back in the thick of things. And we were talking about comparing managers. I think, honestly, a very good comparison in managers right now is Frank and Arteta, right? Because they're young managers. Clearly, Frank had managerial experience before this. And Arteta was picking up the cone. He was picking up the cones, as Tamzeed likes to say.
Yeah, cone boy. Guardiola's cone boy.
Yeah.
If you're going to be the cone boy for any team,
give him a little bit more credit than that.
If you're going to be the assistant for any manager, Pep is probably the best.
But so it seems like we've been a bit revitalized by playing a number 10, which is kind of interesting, seeing as how we have one of the world's greatest number 10s who's not allowed to play for our team. And whatever, don't get me started on Ozil. But you know, the freak kind of instance where COVID happened and like COVID kind of attacked our team a little bit, and then he had to bring in Emile Smith-Rowe. That's kind of revitalized our team a little bit. And so I think that's, I mean, like, Arsenal are, like, if you talked to me a week ago, I was depressed about it. I didn't want to watch Arsenal matches. And of course I did, and then I would just get mad and my wife would be like, why do you do this to yourself? But now, like, I have, maybe this is going to be my own downfall, but I have a lot of confidence going forward. The FA Cup comes at a good time for us because we're traditionally a very good FA Cup team. We I don't know if you guys know this, but we have the most FA Cup titles of any team. Arsenal, just throwing that out there. And so being able to, I care. But going into the FA Cup weekend after having a good run of form in the Premier League, I think is going to be good for us, especially if we can capitalize on it. Now we play Newcastle. I think we host Newcastle, so that's good that we don't have to go to St. James's Park. But I don't know. I'm really optimistic at this point. Up to 11th. Very close to European places, very close to the Europa League places. I think we're a little bit further away from the Champions League spots because I tend to assume that games in hand are wins for the teams that have them. Yes, Sean? Did you?
In turn, I have a question.
Okay, yeah. I'm kind of rambling at this point. So ask me your question.
No, it's okay. I was thinking the last couple of games I've watched, you guys look more dangerous when Aubameyang and Lacazette play together.
Okay.
Why don't you do that more?
So this is kind of like
because another really similar player style. They play kind of the same way.
They prefer
in a relative way.
They prefer to occupy the same space, but I think they're very different players. But they prefer to both play centrally. So the question is, why don't they play?
And
together?
You look better when they're both on the pitch.
Yeah. So this goes back to Emery, right? So Emery didn't play Laka and Aubameyang together for whatever reason. I could only imagine when Emery came in, just sitting Ozil behind Laka and Aubameyang and seeing what happened. That would have probably been exciting. But Arteta's had this insistence on playing 4-3-3 since we signed some center backs this summer. And I think it's kind of been detrimental because with the left side, so Aubameyang, if he's not playing down the center, is playing on the left, generally. And on the left, we have Saka, right, who is playing out of his mind right now. And so the question is, do you not play Saka and play Aubameyang? Or do you play Aubameyang centrally and not play Laka? That's the question, right? It's a good problem to have, but yeah, I think with what we've done recently with playing a number 10 in Smith Rowe, and actually I think our best lineup right now has recently been Martinelli on the left,
yes,
and then Saka on the right, and then
whoever
you want down the middle.
Yeah, I was gonna actually counter Sean's point, and I'm like, when they did play Laka and Aubameyang together, they looked awful. It's since Aubameyang's been gone that they've turned on the afterburners, and they look much better as a team. So having Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe around Lacazette just made them just genuinely better. Like, Aubameyang didn't play against Chelsea, and they just look better with Martinelli out there. Like, they just genuinely look better. I think Aubameyang's finished. Like,
I think it's way too.
I think he's finished. Like,
yeah.
No.
I think he's genuinely finished. I think he just cashed out. Like, he did well for himself. Like, he's got his goal Lambos.
I don't think he's finished. I do think we play well. I think we can play well with both of them, but Lacazette offers something completely different than Aubameyang. Aubameyang, he tends to be like needing like to hit balls and catching them on the run and being able to run at defenses. That's kind of where he's been shining most recently, and we've been playing a lot slower recently with trying to cross balls and things like that. But I would say that, and we played super fast against West Brom, and it looked really good. So I don't know, but as Brad was saying, it's a good problem to have. As long as Lacazette keeps scoring, you got to keep playing him. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter if Aubameyang's the club captain. You got to keep playing Lacazette. So
right. On that note, for Lacazette, I want to offer a public apology for calling Timo Werner Brock versus Lacazette. That isn't even fair to Lacazette anymore. That man's actually scoring goal. I was like, oh no.
That's accepted on behalf of all Arsenal fans.
When I can think of another bummy striker, I'll come back.
Maybe that's
Brock
why.
versus Berahino.
Maybe that's why DT blocked you on Twitter.
Right, I got blocked by DT. I don't even know why.
All right, so Sean, your team is there anything that you specifically want to talk about Spurs? Like, it just kind of is.
Right. It's just nice to right the ship, man. It was bad. It was draw, loss, loss, draw, and then finally got a win. And we're still right there. We're right there in the mix.
Quietly, I would say.
Somehow.
It seems pretty quiet, like, where Spurs are in the world right now. Like, I don't, when I think of, like, the state of the Premier League right now, I'm not like, oh, yeah, well, Spurs is there. It's just kind of like they are just kind of there. But, yeah, I think it's certainly a good position to be in, like, effectively 1 point off the top. So.
My voice was heard on how frustrated I was with, I wasn't super frustrated with the Liverpool loss. You go toe to toe with the winners, and you get beat by an 88th minute header by Firmino.
93rd.
Or a draw. Sorry, but we were winning.
It felt like a loss.
It's gut wrenching. It felt like a loss. It felt like we should have had those 3 points in the bag. But but then the Wolves one hurts. Yeah, it was a lot of hurt, a lot of pain in there, where I don't feel like the end result of the games reflected how we played. But it came out on Leeds, where they have their style of play, and it's that way. Just go that way. It's their style of play. It's everybody. It's 10 on 10 in the enemy's half.
Leeds create chances at a rate of like fire. Like they create chances.
It's insane.
Like Bamford has like 11 goals, and he has the lowest shot conversion rate in the league. He has like 28% conversion rate. Could you imagine if they had a real striker up front? Like, they'd be storming the league.
Hey, they should sign Andy Carroll. Can you imagine?
They need a real. No, I don't think Andy Carroll could run for Bielsa.
No, he would die.
If they sign oh man, if they got like a real player up front, it's done. Like the league is done. We all owe Patrick Bamford a debt of gratitude because he's the only thing keeping this league alive right now.
Until Bielsa burnout happens.
Well, so yeah, right. But here we are. It's January. That means the winter transfer window's open. So they can find someone. So let's kind of think about this. Is there any players that you want to see your team signed? Any specific players? Any positions? Brad, let's start with Chelsea and endless pockets. Scrooge McDuck, Abramovich. Who do Chelsea fans want to buy?
I think we're good, but I think that they will go in for Declan Rice again. I don't know why.
I'm sorry, Rice? Declan Rice.
Okay. Declan's whatever. Declan Rice coming back to hang out with his boy Buddy Mace. We just have to offload. We have too big of a squad. We have to get rid of people this transfer window.
Is that what it's sounding like?
So,
is there talk? Who's leaving? You guys are talking about getting rid of players.
Alonso, Emerson. Yeah, so Alonso, Emerson, both.
I forgot these players exist.
Yeah, I forgot they still played for your team.
Yeah.
Drinkwater. We just recalled Piazon to sell him.
He's still here?
He's still a Chelsea player.
Dude, he's been around since 2011.
The loan army is strong.
Dude. Back in like FIFA 10 and 11, you could buy Lucas Piazon and Franco De Santo from Chelsea, and they'd turn out to be bang. Good lord, he's still there.
He is still there. Hopefully, I think he's being sold. Drinkwater, definitely moving on from the U23s and fighting 16-year-olds.
Yeah, that's whatever happened with that. What happened with that? Did he get sent to jail for assaulting a child?
No, not for this time. No. He
should have been.
Drink driving, he gets sent to jail for though. That happens enough.
Okay, so Chelsea, it sounds like they want to get rid of players, and is that what you want to see? Are there any positions that you personally would like to see them strengthen? No.
We're not going to get it. There's not going to be anybody to pair with Thiago for a center back, so no.
Okay. Tamzeed, what about Liverpool? What do you guys need?
Center back. Yeah. I don't ever want to see Jordan Henderson at center back again. That gave me depression.
Yeah, that was
the crazy part is he can do it.
Right.
He's the Swiss Army knife of players.
That's James Milner. James Milner.
Henderson can do anything. And Milner. You have two Swiss Army knives.
I'll believe it when Milner plays left back. I mean, when Henderson plays left back.
Right.
But so we got linked with a 20-year-old defender called Sven Botman. Yep. He's the guy Lille bought to replace Gabriel, and The issue is I don't see us signing it. If this was the summer, I'd see us signing a 20-year-old center back, right?
Yeah.
But we're not going to sign a 20-year-old center back in the middle of a crisis point, mid-season, right? Like that's just setting up for failure.
And also,
so the one that we got linked with this morning. No, go ahead.
Like, are they foreign? Can you even sign them with Brexit now a thing? Like especially like younger.
Oh yeah, right.
Signing young players is going to be incredibly difficult because of Brexit.
Well, signing young players would be like U16 players, but
Botman
would have to get a work permit, which is fine because he's already like European, so he's probably he's Dutch, so he'd be easily. And then this morning, I woke up to great sadness when I saw we got linked with David Alaba.
Oh, really?
And that gave me depression as well. Yes, we apparently offered him 10 million a year. And that gave me depression as well. that gave me depression as well.
To back up Robertson?
No, he plays center back too. He's a Swiss Army knife type.
Klopp loves it.
The summer, right?
Huh?
I didn't think he wouldn't be coming in January. He'd be coming in the summer because he can just negotiate now.
Either way, that gives me great depression. So,
well, don't worry, you're losing out to Real.
Good. They can absolutely have him. They can absolutely have him. And the new hype train that we're going with is that LeBron James changed his profile picture to Kylian Mbappe. So you know what that means, boys. Mbappe 2021.
Stop.
Let's go.
So, actually,
let's go.
I thought of a good question there. So, if you did sign Alaba, I haven't watched a lot of Bundesliga. You would probably know. Would he start over Robertson?
Can you say that name again, please?
He's not going to play left back for Liverpool Football Club. He is going to play either center midfield or center back. Those are his other positions. He's not going to play. He's not going to play. We're going to sign a right back this summer, and we're going to have Trent Alaba. If he signs Thiago and Henderson as our center midfield options next year.
Alaba at his peak was fun, man. that dude did anything.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably on the downhill now. What's he probably 30?
No,
31?
dude, he's 28 or 29.
Get out of here!
Yeah, Alaba's not old.
Does this mean you want him at Spurs?
Forever.
Yeah, it's like Marcelo.
I'll take him.
Everybody thinks Marcelo's old because he's been playing since he was 16, but he is not. He's 30.
Marcelo.
Yeah, he's 30 or 31. He's fine.
Yeah, Alaba's 28.
I do look at Marcelo. I'm like, man, this
Alaba's 28.
Alaba's 28.
Well, hey, you should call up Jose and tell him to go in. Who should Jose sign?
Yeah, I'm emailing him right now.
Who should y'all sign? Who do you want at Spurs?
See, I'm frustrated with a lot of the rumors because I get a lot of on Spurs Twitter. I see a lot of midfielders that we're looking at, and I don't think at this point we need midfielder depth.
Yeah, I don't think you do.
I mean, maybe just for depth, but it'd be small transfers. I think we need back end help. Right back, left back. I mean,
you definitely need another right back. I don't think Doherty started another game again. Yeah,
because they're both knuckleheads, both of them. Serge and Doherty are knuckleheads, and I can't trust either one of them.
Yeah, Doherty got
another right back.
That look from Mourinho at the end of that game, I was like, oh yeah, he's never starting again. He's never playing again. That's it.
He's pulling Toby aside, and he's like, "Can you play right back?"
Yeah.
Yam played left.
This man is going sent back to the championship.
So we right back, and then center back help, and then a replacement for Lloris because he's getting old, man. He's 33.
Well, you guys.
Actually, I will give this to Lloris. He's looked the best he's looked in probably 2 or 3 years this year.
So, but you
I
guys,
don't know where this came from.
Oh,
it's the fire behind him. Yo,
Yeah, go ahead.
he's got competition
You
in
think
the
it
goal
is?
in the goalkeeper room. That boy, that man, the ex
I-
Manchester City legend Joe Hart.
I just the Head and Shoulders legend Joe Hart.
Yeah, man, he's coming for that number
No.
one spot.
Joe Hart's never starting over.
I think it's just because he doesn't have to run the length of the field to play sweeper keeper anymore.
Yeah,
Like, he just doesn't.
So he's
have to
not
run,
tired?
like- yeah, he just doesn't have to run like 20 yards to go sprint 20 yards to go save the ball. Like he can just casually like stand on your line and make saves, like easy.
yeah. It seems weird that
On
you
an
guys.
exit, I just want to give a shout out to the best center. Now that Van Dijk's out, I want to give a shout out to the best center back in the Premier League, Eric Dyer.
That's. I'm shocked.
Alderweireld out.
Sounds like you guys need a center back.
Actually, it's probably Ruben Dias. If we're being
It's
You guys are.
I
Mis-
It's Eric Dyer.
that bone to pick segment. I'm coming for that.
I got a bone to pick.
Yeah.
United.
Go ahead.
United Twitter would have us believing it's Eric Bailey. Bailey. Adam.
Bailey's
Oh.
a nugget.
Bitch
Yeah.
pronouncing that. Bailey. Butchering that.
Yeah. Bye. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, we.
So I'm moving on from transfers. I think we've kind of touched on it. Arsenal, we're not signing anyone. R.I.P. Mesut Ozil. Have fun in Fenerbahce. You didn't get
He's coming to DC United.
Nah.
DC United. I'm pushing for DC United.
It's not
Yes.
happening.
DC United. Listen. For years, I've called Lucho Acosta the bootleg Ozil. I have Lucho Acosta jerseys. I'm just gonna stick Ozil on the back of it now. Like this is the move. I need this for my sanity.
R.I.P.
No, you can't show that. No,
R.I.P. Mesut.
you can't show the jersey. Back of the jersey.
I'm already
You gotta cut it.
I'm already supporting him. China can't hold me down. Yeah, I don't think Arsenal are signing anyone.
Man.
We're not signing anyone.
can't hold me
We're just selling players. We're getting rid of people, which I think is ultimately good. I think we're signing.
Speaking of China, shout out to Musa Dembele.
I think actually we are signing like a center back from a Bundesliga team. I don't remember who it is. He's some 19 or 20-year-old. He's a child. I don't know why we're signing another center back, but here we are. But as I kind of talked about earlier on the show,
Saliba to Liverpool.
well, he's coming back. Don't worry. He's going to play his 6 months at Nice and come back and just destroy the world. He and Gabriel are gonna form such a combination, such a center back pairing. It's gonna be great. But let's look forward a little bit. Like I said, weird weekend. We're going into the FA Cup, so there's no Premier League action, of course. We won't get that until next midweek. But there are some fun FA Cup games coming up. Least of which is the 8th Division Spurs match. That should be fun. But a couple games that we highlight: Villa is hosting Liverpool. QPR and Fulham. That's a good London derby. I think they're actually very close to each other, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that's a pretty big rivalry, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
They are close to each other. Yep.
Yeah, Arsenal
West-
have.
They're both in South. Yeah.
Arsenal are hosting Newcastle, which is one of the Premier League on Premier League matchups, and Marine. Is that how we're saying it? Marine. I'm not sure. Are hosting Spurs.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, 8th Division, being apparently their training kits and their coaches' kits are going to be sponsored by Jamie Carragher. So that's going to be a big game. But of any of those games or any game that I didn't mention, anything you guys are looking forward to in the FA Cup weekend? Do you guys think that your team's going to win?
The Liverpool game is really interesting.
Yeah,
We gotta go.
Because that's going to be a really good game.
Rock.
That's gonna. Also, but I just wanted to point out before we get into the Liverpool Aston Villa game, is I'm glad the check cleared for whoever we paid off to get the 8th Division team, and you guys got Newcastle and Aston Villa. I'd love it. You'd love to see it.
Yeah, I think Chelsea also got some bum second or third division team.
We got Morecambe.
Yeah.
Or Morecambe, yeah.
Morecambe, yeah. They
We're,
are. Hold on, I'm getting into this. Let's see.
we're getting butchered on all of these pronunciations in the comments, boys. Be angry Twitter
We're going to.
replies.
We are.
But yes, I don't know. I think of all those matchups, they all seem kind of hit or miss. I think the most interesting one is the QPR Fulham game, just because that's going to be a London derby. QPR is probably pretty close to Fulham's level, or I should say Fulham is probably close to QPR's level. So I think that could be a really good game. That's one of those classic FA Cup matches, I think. That's kind of, I think all the other ones I'll take the chalk on all of the other ones. I think that Liverpool's going to beat Aston Villa, because I think Aston Villa is not going to prioritize it as much as Liverpool will. But even I think Liverpool's not going to prioritize the FA Cup. But I think that they have more options, and when they reduce their priority on things, it's not as big of a drop off as it will be for Aston Villa. But that Spurs match, Sean, tell me why that Spurs match is not going to be 100-0. Because it's going to be 100-0.
Before I do that, I just want to throw out shade.
Okay.
I just want to give a shout out to all the lower clubs that get helped out by the merchandise and selling tickets. Well, not COVID. So all the merchandise and stuff they're going to sell, Villa, QPR, Marine, Arsenal, all of them are going to be helped out by Liverpool, Fulham, Newcastle, and Spurs visiting their stadium. So the Marine Spurs game is going to be Newcastle visiting Arsenal.
Westlander up here.
The lower clubs host, and you got lower clubbed by Newcastle, by the way.
That's not true. It's all random draw.
Yes, Spurs Marines is gonna be. It's not gonna be 100. Literally can't score that fast. It might be like 9.
It's also going to be the U18s out there.
And Gareth Bale.
Yeah, we're gonna play Pochettino's kid.
Gareth Bale.
Gareth Bale. Yeah, Gareth Bale's definitely playing.
Dele Alli, who apparently
Gareth
is not
Bale
allowed to
plus
leave.
the U18s.
Dele Alli. Yeah. Dele Alli's gonna get his game.
You mean Johnny Depp with his mustache?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, no, we're probably gonna get it's Josie. So we're gonna get like a 2-3 goal lead and just pack it in.
You think so?
So it's gonna be boring.
I feel like you're wrong.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I feel like you're wrong. I feel like it's gonna be monstrous. It's going to be a defeat.
I think it's gonna be ugly.
Even if he tried.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Bro, you can't pack it in when you have the ball 75% of the game.
Yeah.
they're just gonna pass it around the back.
No, players get bored and they're gonna be like,
you're gonna score a goal.
yeah.
I'm about to put $5 on Marine winning.
Hey,
all right.
I mean, that might be a bet to make.
And if Marine
Put
wins,
that up on Southampton, right?
I'm legit gonna tattoo a Chiellini's face on my body. That is the greatest.
We'll put that up with Southampton getting the dub.
All right. Well, gentlemen, it's been real. It's been fun. This was of course what we're talking about after match day 17 in the Premier League. We'll come back at you guys next week, but before we get out of here, Brad, tell us where we can communicate with you.
So Twitter, Instagram, wherever is at KSBradG. And make sure you guys do follow the new redcard_radio Twitter account. So that's where you'll be getting all the updates from us.
Tamzeed, tell the people where to find you.
You can find me on Twitter at Firmino's Dentist.
I see, but you changed your name to Payne today, or last week, or whenever it was after the Southampton game.
Yes, my thing says Payne.
Sean,
if you at Firmino's Dentist, you'll find me.
Yeah, Sean, tell us where to catch you in Spurs Twitter world.
You will find me at Whiteheart_Sean. I will be tweeting all of Firmino's Dennis Payne.
And that's Hart with only an A, no E, right, Brad? Right? Just H-A-R-T, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
okay,
Brad.
cool. Just want to double.
White Hart Lane.
White Hart.
Just wanted to check
It's
with you, Brad.
spelled H-A-R-T.
Sean is spelled S-E-A-N.
And
S-E-A-N.
That's super obvious.
The only way to spell it.
And I am at James Tiffany on Twitter. Feel free to get me. And of course, like Brad said, it's at redcard_radio on Twitter. If we hit any other social medias, we'll let you know. But thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for listening to us. Please contact us, communicate with us, interact with us on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you and get your feedback. But until next time, so long, and we will talk to you guys later.